everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with the bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So it's time for those 1-minute book recs. Once again, this is where we go over all the books that we read in the past week with 1-minute synopsises for each book. But before we get started with that, I think Mandy has something pretty big to announce.
Yes, so we have made it to 3,000.
Woohoo!
We are very excited about that. So it is time to do our giveaway, and we have found that the easiest way for us to do this so that you guys the winner gets their things is to do the Google form where you put in your address so we know where to mail the books. And again, we are giving away, sorry, stuck this off to the side too far. The first 2 books in Coveted Covers book box subscription, the Catherine Welcher books. So you are getting both of those if you are the lucky winner. So make sure that you fill out the Google form below. All you need to put on there is your name and mailing address. We are going to have a question that you can answer only if you want to, totally optional. It's just if you want to mark some tropes that you would love to see videos from, that you can mark as many as you want on there. We just love to get your feedback. So we're making videos that also resonate with you guys.
Yeah, videos you want to watch.
Yeah. So. And then you can check back next week and we will be doing the winner.
Yes. All right. Well, now that excitement's over, well, that's actually just beginning, but let's talk about our reading week. So how was yours?
It was pretty good. I'm going to put these back on the shelf. I don't want anything happening to them.
Yeah.
All my other books, I do care, but like it would be less devastating. Yeah. Then I would suddenly need to be the winner.
Yes.
Okay, so I did read 7 books, but my reading week I didn't have a 5-star read this week, and I don't know, maybe I was in a mood. I have some harsh ratings this week.
Well, I mean, you went back to work and stuff like full time this week. Like not necessarily the kids were in this week, so that would have made me grumpy. But I'm also not a teacher, so.
Well, these are books that I read before then, but no, I'm not grumpy.
Okay.
It's just legit.
Yeah. I had a 5-star this week, just one. I mean, I had a pretty decent week. It was an okay week, but it's all right. So, how many books did you read?
I said I read 7.
I missed that. Obviously, I was listening to something else. So I read 10, but 3 were for work, so we're not going to talk about those. So I have 7. So
you told me earlier today you hardly read anything, and you read 10 books.
Well, I felt like it. I felt like I hardly read anything, and then when I counted, I was like, oh, I guess I read more than I thought. So it feels like hardly anything.
All right. Well, you can go first, still.
Yes, I'll go first, still.
Okay.
So the first book that I read is one I've had on my bookshelf for quite a while, but audio just came out for it, and it is I've got too many things I'm lifting here. Dark Escapes by Effie Campbell. So this is the first book in one of her Mafia series. I think it's the McGowan. It's Scottish. McGowan Mafia. So this is about Alec and Esther, which I just love the name Esther. It's my favorite book of the Bible, which does not get roped into here. Nope. But anyhow, Esther is a part of the Scottish Mafia. Her father is forcing her to marry a man that's even older than her father. And this man is someone that they've had a rivalry with, and he has actually murdered her mother and her brother. And she does not want to marry this man. Her younger sister makes the comment, well, you could just escape. Like she knows somebody to get her new documents, and you can just take off. And so Alec is the enforcer. And he has been sent to watch over her to make sure she doesn't do anything like take off before the wedding. And she kind of uses her feminine wiles to entice him. And then when he's busy cleaning up in the bathroom, she does take off. And she escapes and goes to another country. And then he is sent on the run to find her. And so this is their story and how that plays out with them. Thank you. I gave it 4 stars. It was great. I would like to continue on in the series. I actually own the rest of the series except for one book. So I do plan to continue on, but I'll probably wait for audio. The audio was great though. So there you go.
Okay.
What was your first read?
My first read was Say You'll Stay by Corinne Michaels. This is the one I put on my, what did we end up? It was 10 till the end, but really 15 video.
Yeah, something like that. We got a bonus 5 more each. Yeah.
Yes. So this was on that, and I'm working my way down my list of books to get off my physical shelf there. So this is about Presley. So I will say check your triggers. Normally you might think Corinne Michaels, you don't need to, but for this you may want to. So Presley's husband leaves her in a fairly impactful emotional way. And in doing so, he also leaves her with a lot of debt, and she is not able to get her or herself out of this debt. And so she is forced to move back home to Tennessee to her family's farm with her 2 twin boys who are none too excited to be making this move either. And as soon as she gets back, she ends up running into her first love, and that is Zach. And Zach and her, we kind of see how they ended up not being together. It kind of unfolds throughout the story, but there is still definite, even though we are 17 years later, there's still some definite chemistry between the two of them. You just froze like this for a significant amount of time.
Well, I mean, you freeze for me and it never does. I'm hopefully it won't in the recording.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll just keep up with it.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're frozen like that, you're good.
It is what it is.
We'll leave you like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully.
Anyway, so her and Zach are now back in each other's orbits. And like I was saying, there's still a lot of chemistry there. So this is kind of her working through a lot of anger towards her husband, and also maybe a little anger towards Zach and trying to figure some things out. Oh, and Zach has a girlfriend that he's had for some time that he's getting ready to propose to. And I will say this, nobody else probably felt this way, but I kind of felt a little bit bad for her. I know that Felicia's made out to be kind of a bitch in this story, but come on, like this is the man she's been with for like 5 years, and his high school sweetheart shows back up and everything, like her life is totally thrown in a different direction. Again, she doesn't necessarily redeem herself or anything in this story, but I was like, oh, I kind of feel a little bit bad for her.
That's cute.
So I rated it 4 stars.
Okay. All right. So the next book I read was Caught in the Lies by Casey Shea. Last week I read Caught in the Flames by Casey Shea. So this is the second book in her Caught series. This is Cameron. He is our fire captain and brother to one of the guys in the book from before that we read about him and Jill in that first book having a hookup situation. So this is their story now. So you have Jill and Cameron, like when the book starts, they've already been hooking up for a while. He wants something more serious, like he's trying to get her to move in with him. She's very reserved, and she kind of feels like she doesn't want to make that jump yet. She's just having a hard time committing, and he's putting things into play, but he is also keeping a really, 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 really big secret. And obviously she's going to find out and it's going to be a problem. He's actually keeping a couple of secrets, but it's really hard to describe this book because you kind of have to read the first book to know what's happening in this book. But I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I will continue on with the next book. I am liking these firefighters. Just saying. I've already downloaded the next book, so.
Awesome. I was also wrong. Sale Stay was on my August TBR.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes. So
Okay.
I was getting it in before August was over.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I'd like to say I listened to the audio for the Sale Stay, even though I own the physical book.
Yeah.
And I was doing it when I was working in my classroom, putting up names and things like that, like things that I can listen to, like before kids are there. And that beginning kind of got me. I was not expecting it.
And I don't normally cry in books. I cried in that one.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm like taping names to walls, like, and tears are coming down.
Yeah, it's pretty emotional in the beginning. But
Yeah.
that I never thought I had a trigger, but that situation doesn't sit right with me. It's hard for me, so that's always going to trigger me to be really emotional. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. My next book,
Tell us. I'm curious.
it's just a DNF. I
Ooh. Okay.
normally don't DNF, but I did.
Yeah. Well,
So,
go for it.
and I'm still counting it as a book read because I made it a significant ways in before I DNF'd. And this is like the first book this year I've DNF'd, and I've maybe DNF'd like 3 books out of the however many books I've read ever. So I don't ever DNF. So this is called Cash by Jules Ford. It's part of the Speed Demons MC. And so it is cheating. I was very excited because, as you guys know, I kind of get on these kicks where I just am looking for this angst with the cheating. And in this, he cheats and then she leaves, and I couldn't get into it. Like, I didn't feel any sort of angst or even care that he had cheated. Like, I didn't care for the writing in this story. I just didn't like it. I couldn't get into it. I didn't like the characters. You can switch me back. I didn't like it.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I DNF'd it and I gave it 1 star so it would show up in my stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you DNF something, then that is kind of a 1 star.
Yeah.
But I do want to say I looked at reviews because when I have like extreme feelings on a book, I sometimes like to see how other people rated it. So I did look at some reviews, and it seems like people either loved it or they completely hated it.
Okay.
So you guys could always give it a try.
They could. Okay,
Next.
well, let's talk about the book that I've been waiting for months and months, and I was so excited. The book itself came out today, August 31st. So you guys actually, tomorrow's the 1st, so the day before. You guys can get it. Just go get it. So this is Myra Might Survive by Liz Hamilton. This is the 2nd book in her Serial Survivors collection. I don't know if you need to read Caitlin Can't Die in order to jump into this one. They're post-apocalyptic. I think you should, just because Caitlin Can't Die is amazing. But this one's great too. So this is about Myra. Myra's 30 years old. She's a school teacher. And in the night that the bloats, which is what everybody refers to, the zombies, the attacked, like the night that happened on Halloween night, she was actually, because she teaches high school, going up to this dam to get her kids, like the high school kids, out of there before they get themselves in trouble. And then they were all attacked, and they went into this dam, and that's where they've been living and surviving for the last month or so. And they're running out of provisions at this point. She is the oldest person there. Like, they look to her as the old woman because everybody in this dam is like 17, 18, 19, 20. And there's a lot of sex, there's a lot of crazy going on. But you also have a bunch of teenagers who have found firearms. And so then you also have them making stupid decisions and getting God complexes. Well, then we have Cade, our hero. He lives out in the wilderness on the lake or on the river where the dam is, and he's trying to survive with his brother. They're running out of food. He's doing something with netting, trying to get fishing late one night when something happens and he gets pushed up close to the dam. And of course, teenagers and guns, not very smart, so they shoot him or shoot at him. And Myra rescues him and then has to keep him and heal him without anybody finding out what's happening, because it's a very volatile situation. Myra's very quirky, very, very quirky. She says actually a lot of things that I personally say, which I found very interesting. She doesn't swear. She says some really quirky things. And Cade, the way he just loves her, he loves her and her quirky. Like, he just thinks it's cute. And I'm like, I love that. Anyhow, 5 stars. Loved it. I just loved it. It's so good. She did a great job. So very different from the first one, but I did like it. Myra's a people pleaser, so you see a lot of that in here too. So, yeah. Okay.
Alrighty. Okay.
Next.
Well, I continued on with my desire to find an angsty cheating book.
Okay.
So I went and read Wall by Kate C. Wells. And so this is part of her Steel Bones MC. And when you read this, don't get discouraged when Wall is a firefighter and hangs out with a bunch of other firefighters and police officers that ride motorcycles. That's not the MC part, because when I first read that, I'm like, oh, this is not the MC I was envisioning. That's not there's more to the story. So Wall's this firefighter, and him and his wife are kind of going through a rough patch, and Mona is not doing very well. She has like a hard time getting, herself dressed and ready to go anywhere other than just work, and she'd rather just lay on the couch. And she encourages him to still go out and like have fun and socialize and things like that. Well, one night he comes back really, really late, like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then ends up confessing to her that he has cheated when he was really drunk that earlier on in the evening or early morning. And she's like, well, get out. So he does. And then we kind of fast forward 3 years later, and she works with a patient who has Alzheimer's, and she's trying to help her. And she really wants this ring. And so her engagement ring. So she goes to the lady's house to try and get the ring back from the no good grandson that's throwing parties and stuff there, and it doesn't go well, and these people threaten her. So she goes to Wall, who is now in an actual MC, and asks for his help, and that puts the two of them back together. Not back together, back in each other's orbit again. Okay, I rated this one 4 stars.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the next book I went and grabbed, I listened to this one. Audio just came out for this about a week or so ago. This is Tiny Precious Secrets by Samantha Christie. This is the 4th book in the Brothers of Callaway Creek, the Montanan series. I thought this was about one of the Montanan brothers. This is actually about the sister that they have, the one sister. So this is Allie and Asher's story. You can read this as a standalone because I didn't even remember that this stuff had actually started in book 2. But this is, so Allie and Asher have been hooking up. They met way back, a while back. He takes a lot. He's a single dad to a 13-year-old, and he takes a lot of vacations for work. And she will meet him, and they have the weekend together. And then she goes back to Callaway Creek, and he goes back to Florida, where his daughter is. His daughter has sabotaged a lot of relationships for him. Her mom didn't want her at birth, so he has full custody, and then she had a stepmother that actually like took off and never looked back. So she's got a lot of hurt. She's kind of a brat. She really is a brat, but she got a lot of hurt from that. So she's trying to sabotage his relationship. So he's trying to keep this on the down low. He realizes that he's in love with Callie, or with Allie, I mean, and we find out early on, and I'm going to give you this. It's not really a spoiler. We find this out very, very early on in the book, but this could be a trigger for somebody. Allie lost a baby, and not like lost it while she was pregnant. She was told that her baby had a genetic deformity and that it would not live for very long after birth. And when she was 18 and she went through with it, she carried the baby to term, she gave birth to the baby, and baby passed. And so she has a lot of trauma from this. And she finds out that she's pregnant. So you have the drama of, is this baby going to have this as well? Because it's hereditary. What's going to happen? And at this point, she and Asher aren't really talking. They're kind of taking a little bit of a break. So I really, really loved it. It was a solid 4.5. It was great. Just if you have triggers for infant loss, you're definitely going to want to, check those before you get into this. But it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, on that happy note.
I know, but it was good.
All right.
Okay.
Well, next I read Griffin by S.M. West, and this one I know does have audio as well. So this is about Cora, and Cora is trying really hard to get money and better her life. And she has a mom that's really been into bad stuff, and she's kind of just in this world where like drugs and things are going on, but she is trying really hard to get herself out of this situation. And so her friend asks her to deliver this package to somebody who's at this party, and she is hesitant, but again, she really needs money. So she goes ahead and does it. And the house, like, she ends up using the bathroom there. The house is really gross, and while she's in the bathroom, somebody comes into the room and shoots and kills the person that she's supposed to be giving this package to, or something like that. And so she freaks out and runs, because obviously she doesn't want anybody to know that there was a witness to this situation. And while she is fleeing this house, somebody starts following her. That was my timer.
Okay.
And she runs into Griffin, and Griffin picks her up and takes her and drops her off. She's never met him before. He's just kind of a stranger, but she had to make a choice like, stranger I don't know or stranger I know is wanting to kill me. And there's some mysterious things about Griffin because Griffin ends up protecting her, and together they go on the run to try and keep her safe. But Griffin's mixed up in some stuff as well. I really, really enjoyed this. This was a solid 4, maybe even it should have been like 4.5, but I don't really do those ratings.
Yeah.
So solid 4 stars. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. All right. So audio came out this week for Zoe Draven's spinoff from her Horde Kings of Dakar. So that's the Horde King of Shadow. And I listened to it. It is full cast audio. There's a lot of people in there. So I listened to this one. So this is my first time listening, but second read of this book. So this is about our heroine, who is Clara, and she is the daughter to the Dothakar, the king over this planet, because this is an alien, even though they just look human. And this is about 200 years after the Horde Kings of Dakar series ends. And so she's actually a descendant of a couple of those people from those books. She is basically the bastard daughter of the king, and so she is kind of kept separate. She doesn't have a brother there, but she doesn't have, like, she's not treated like a princess that much. And so they know that there's dragons now. She has saw when she was younger a guy riding on a dragon when she was little, but the dragons are from another land, somewhere further away, not Dothakar. And so one day these guys land here. They land at a certain time of year, and that is where she meets the hero, who's Sarkin, and he is there looking for heartstones. Like, heartstones is a thing there. They're these gems that keep things alive. And he wants theirs. There's one in this capital, and he wants it. But his dragon actually sees the heroine when they go out to meet them, and makes a noise where he knows that she is his fated mate, even though he does not want her. He does not want to marry her. She's gonna fall off his dragon. I mean, she has no clue what she's doing. But he says, all right, I'll leave your heartstone here, but I want your daughter as bride. And so she is forced to go with him and become his bride. And there's a lot more that happens. It's quite the story. I gave the audio was great. Originally I think I gave the book 5 stars. I would probably give it 4 now. It was the second time reading it, and I like the originals a little bit more, but I still enjoyed it. It was different because you have the dragons and stuff being brought in. So there were just a couple parts where I got bored. So, I enjoyed it more when I physically read it. So, it happens. And I was wrong. I forgot. He does not have a tail in this one.
Oh, that's a relief.
So he's very, very human for the most part. So if you like your alien somewhat human, here you go. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So next, I continued my journey in trying to find the ultimate cheating angsty book, and now I have to move on because I'm just not finding it.
Okay.
So my last book before I gave up on this trope for a while is Stoned by Mandy Beck. So I want to say before I start talking about this book that I actually really enjoy Mandy Beck's writing. I enjoy the writing. Her writing style is good. I did not care for Willow in this book. So much so that it really kind of took away from the story for me. Other people may really like this. So Stone is a rock star, and the book starts off with Willow has already broken up with him. She needs the hotel room key so she can go back, get her stuff, and fly home. He gives it to her, but he's kind of a mess. So he is into drinking and drugs, and he's been cheating on her left and right, kind of feeling like she's always just going to be there and it's not a big deal. And now she's not going to just always be there. She has left. And again, he kind of still feels like, well, when the tour's over, I'm going to go home and she's going to be at our house and it's not a big deal. And he kind of continues on. Well, when he gets home, he is shocked to find out that she is not there. she is gone. So he makes more bad choices and ends up kind of forced into rehab after some things happen. So he goes to rehab and he is desperate to find her. Well, Willow has gone into hiding, and even though he's a rock star worth a lot of money, can hire a really good private investigator, nobody can track her down. And it takes a long time before they finally find her and he's able to confront her. So I rated it 3 stars. I think that I could have gotten more into this book if there would have been like a scene where she walks in on him cheating on her. There's like no build up to their relationship. It's just her like, I need the hotel room key. And he's like, oh, I can't believe you're actually going to leave. There needed to be some like build up to the two of them, like her walking in on him or something. But it basically, she's just been very passive and knowing that he's doing this stuff and kind of turning a blind eye, and then for whatever reason she's had enough, which I get, everyone's going to have their breaking point, but it just didn't have any of that angst and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I see him change because he goes to rehab and he goes to find her. I don't understand why he needed to find her. Like, I don't get their relationship. What does she have that he is so in love with? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just seemed like he was upset that she was gone, but not necessarily her, more like the idea of her. Am I making sense?
Yeah,
Like,
it makes sense.
I
Yeah.
just didn't get any connection. So I rated it 3 stars, but I do want to say I did really enjoy the writing in the story. So I would try another book by Mandy Beck. I
Okay.
just didn't like this story.
Mm-hmm.
Did I make sense with that at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
Oh, man. Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, for the next one, we can just stay on because it's our
No.
buddy read. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Because I'm not talking about it that long. Look down at your notes while I talk. Just go ahead. Okay, so the next is we Acts Backwards by Daphne Elliott was our buddy read. We actually just got done doing our live show for that. This is a single dad, but it's not his kid, small town romance. I gave it a soft 4, like it's 3.5, 4. I enjoyed the first half, got bored. It was friends to lovers and then like secret dating. Or fake dating. I mean, I don't like fake dating. Maybe that's why. A little bored there, but if you guys want to hear more, I don't think we gave away too many spoilers at all in the live show, so you could go watch that. But next.
Okay.
Okay.
So next, I read, and full disclosure, I started this book a little while ago and had to pause it because I had an arc I had to read. And then I just was desperately trying to find this angsty cheating book that I've now officially given up on. At least this week I have. I'll probably be back at it in a couple weeks from now. But anyway.
Okay.
So I went back to finish The Wrong Play by C.R. Jane. And so this is Jace's story. Jace, if you read The Wrong Quarterback, Jace is the one who has all the like kind of almost dad jokes, but I guess they wouldn't be dad jokes because they're a little like graphic at times. So he just has like the really corny jokes. I enjoyed Jace quite a bit. And then we have Riley. So Riley is new on campus. She was in a really, really bad relationship that was fully supported by her parents to some degree. They didn't know that this relationship was going on. They knew that there was a friendship there. Her parents are not super great. So she has fled, that's the word I'm looking for,
Mm-hmm.
fled her family and this relationship and has come here. Nobody knows where she's at. And so she's trying really hard to get by. She does have a chronic illness where she is exhausted and has muscle fatigue quite frequently, which makes it harder for her to be your typical active college student. So she's trying to fit in, manage her illness, as well as just stay afloat. And Jace steps in to be the hero that we all know C.R. Jane's characters can be. I will say I rated this 4 stars because there was a little bit of a lull for me where I almost think that Jace was too nice. And then he kind of amps it up a little bit and starts taking situations, you know, drastic measures, and then we kind of see those characters again,
Mm-hmm.
our character traits that C.R. Jane is very well known for. So really enjoyed this. I am very excited for Jagger's book, Don't Say Mafia, which is coming out, which I'm going to assume Jagger's in the Mafia. It's supposed to be a standalone, so I'm excited for that one. But I was just talking on the live that I feel like I need to get myself a map going because she has so many characters. And one of the characters in the other series, it has a brother who's in her Rockstar series. Like there's
Yeah.
just a lot of interconnections, which if you have not read them, I don't feel like you have to know this. This is just for my brain. I want to keep everyone
Yeah.
straight
Because I
because
forget
I
who
find
people
it
are.
fun.
Like I really do. When I was reading the one where they were talking about the brother, like I was like, do I know who this, like I forget who they are, and it doesn't bother me to
No,
continue listening. It's not something where you have to know. So
no, you don't. You
yeah.
can completely do it. It's just fun for me to be like, oh yeah, I remember him
Yeah.
from such and such book, or ooh, now we're getting this person. So I just want to keep them all straight for myself, but it does not take away from it. In
Yeah.
fact, she might have stuff like I need to go look and see if she does. If she does, I will let you guys know. If not, I will make my own document.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, for my last book that I'm going to talk about today, I continued on in the Mists of Avalon series by Joanna Bell. But this is a Viking time travel romance. I've read these before, so this is a
Sorry.
reread, but it was a long, long time ago. So this is Ragnar. This is the second book. I don't know if you look on Goodreads. So I was looking at the blurb on the back. It's actually talking about the first book. So I don't know if that was like a typo, and if it's better on Goodreads or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you what it's about. So in our first book, we had our heroine who traveled back in time. This book is about her best friend. So she was taken back in time by Paige, the heroine, and so that she would believe that it was there. So now we are in the aftermath of the first book, and Paige is missing because she's gone back to her Viking, because that's what you do, right? Like that's a given. She's going to go to her Viking. And so Emma is actually being brought in by the FBI. She's being brought in by the police department and questioned because she saw Paige earlier that morning. And so like there were texts between the two of them, and it's very suspicious. And so she's just a college girl trying to make it. She's from the UK going to college in New York. And now all these people are, it looks bad. It looks like she did something to Paige. And so she gets really angry at Paige one day, and she goes to the tree, and she is like, I gotta set this straight. I need to go see Paige, and just kind of, I just need to just remind myself that this is real too, and it wasn't a figment of my imagination. So she travels back in time, and when she does, she actually gets taken captive by this guy who is like the English ruler of that land. And they're trying to decide what to do with her because she attacks with bear spray one of his guys. And when that happens, that is when Ragnar actually comes to destroy that area, or to pillage that area. And he can tell that she's not this English person. And so he takes her with him, and he himself is a Jarl as well. And so this is their story and what happens with that. So she gets stuck back there with her own Viking. And, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. Just saying. Okay, what
Okay.
you got?
Well, next I have Alphemies to Lovers by Jennifer Chipman. It's narrated by Shiloh James and Bryant Walker. I don't know that I've listened to Bryant Walker before. No, I've listened to Shiloh James. Love her. Bryant Walker sounds like a new narrator to me. Not that he's new, but new to me. Have you listened to him before?
His name sounds familiar.
Okay. So, Alphemies to Lovers was a lot different than when I thought it was going to be. And when I went back and read the description again, I see my mistake. I think that I was thinking that stuff was a little like overdone in like a Christmassy way, but I don't think like it was legit, like it actually meant what it meant. So we have Ivy Winters and Teddy Claus. So the book is already out. Audio is coming out on September 2nd, so tomorrow for you guys. So Ivy works at Christmas Land. It's an amusement park that's completely Christmas themed. And there she works as an elf. So my mistake was thinking that she worked as an elf there, but My timer went off already,
I was
Jessica.
giving you a minute, yeah.
And Teddy, I thought, was like taking over Christmas land, but Teddy is actually Santa Claus's son. So we have to kind of have like um this I don't know, magic belief here. And so they
Yeah.
actually go to the North Pole and stuff like that. I don't know where the alphemies really came from. Like, I don't feel like they were enemies. That I didn't get any enemies to lovers vibes in this story. It was a very Christmas themed, sweet story. And basically the biggest part is Teddy has to get Ivy on board with the fact that all of this stuff really exists. Okay. This, I'm going to be 100% honest in my review, is not my cup of tea. I really am not into like fantasy and magic and stuff like that. And if you've watched our channel, you're probably like, why did Mandy pick this up? Because Mandy was confused. But the writing was really good. So if you, and the narration, the audiobook is really good. So if you are looking for and you enjoy like that magic stuff and Christmas and all of that, this could be a really good read for you. I'm going to rate it 4 stars because I feel like the writing and the narration was very, very good. It's just not my cup of tea. It'd be like Jessica reading a Friends to Lovers. And I know you don't like Friends to Lovers, but you could still enjoy the writing, but maybe the whole, like, it's just not your thing, but it wasn't necessarily bad. So somebody who likes this, I think, would really enjoy it. I think I've rambled too much about this, but as I hear a lot about Jennifer Chipman, so I'd wanted to try something. And when I saw the Christmas one, I was like, oh, I'll try this. But as I kind of looked into her backlist and stuff, and she
Yeah.
has a new one coming out in October, I think that she writes magical.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's just like, I never read Harry Potter back
Yeah.
when everybody read it, like what, 20 some years ago. I just don't like stuff like that. It's just not for me. That's why I really struggle in fantasy because I don't like any of that. So
Yeah. Understandable.
that may not have been the best review I've ever done, but I wanted to
I
explain why it was still a 4 star, even though it wasn't for me.
I've looked at that book before. I remember looking at it last Christmas, I think, around there when it first came out. Because the audio is just coming, but the books have been out for a
Yeah,
little
the
bit.
book came out
Uh-huh.
last year for the
Yeah.
holidays. The audio's
Yeah.
coming out this
I
year.
remember looking at it, going, "Oh, this looks so cute," and thinking it would be like a small town Christmas romance. When you called me to tell me that he was Santa Claus's son, I was like, "What?" Like that. Even for me, that was a little. Come again? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So again, writing is phenomenal. Audiobook was fantastic. If you like that genre, and you will probably really enjoy it.
yeah.
It's just, I'm not into that.
No. No. Okay. Well, there you go. Covered. Done. Christmas book.
Yeah. And when we do our holiday book recommendations, I will probably still recommend this book
Yeah.
because if you are looking for a holiday book and you like the magical elements,
It's like the Santa Claus, who's like the Santa Claus. Tim
yeah.
Allen. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe that, like, I was thinking about this because, like, Elf, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, there's lots of great Christmas stuff out there where you, like the Polar Express, where you have to suspend your belief, kind of.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are market, like, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird that Santa's son is getting it on with somebody.
I didn't even think about that. Like that.
It's just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's 2 categories here for me. So, like, wholesome Christmas, I mean, Elf is a little, you know, at times maybe not so
Mhm.
wholesome, but it's still marketed towards more of a family situation, you know, where this is like, they do it more than once in the book.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a hard sell for me. So Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But
there we go.
other people who might really enjoy the magical
Yeah.
elements, probably, I mean, she's a very popular author
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
probably most people were just odd.
We're oddballs for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was our reading week.
I should have enjoyed it more because, I mean, how much more taboo than Santa's son can you get?
But I gotta draw a line somewhere. So that's gonna
Anyway,
be the line I'm gonna draw, okay?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. That was our reading week. That was different. There were a few different things this week. So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. All right.
My
Well,
reading month might still be wild because I've been trying to back off a little bit on arcs and ALCs and reading like more what I want. So then when I
yeah.
get down a rabbit hole, I can go that way. But then my reading is like wild. And
Yeah.
so are my ratings. So,
Yeah.
I don't know
Let's see what
what to
happens.
tell people.
Yeah.
August was weird for me.
August was weird for me too.
Yeah. But thank you guys for getting us to 3,000.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much.
Yes. And make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and sometimes Wednesdays. I know our Wednesdays are going to start to pick back up here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Now that like we're back to school and we have a little not really. We don't really actually have extra free time, but it feels a little less crazy maybe to some degree.
Yeah.
I don't
We're back
know.
into the routine.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
check back. We'd love to have you stick around.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.